and the universe will believe you. You see, if you're not getting something that you want and you've been thinking about it, it just means that the universe is not buying your image. Your image is squirrely. You go to your image sometimes, but you're not there long enough for real momentum to grow. And what is the cause of that? Why don't you stay on the image for long enough? Why can't you stay focused? Because what is? Reality is in your face. Reality is like that person who will come up to you and be like, hey, just want to let you know you have had money in the last 10 days and just wanted to let you know, I don't know what you wanted me to, what are you're going to do knowing that, but just wanted to let you know. And we want you to put reality in the box of expired stuff. It's expired, it's done, it doesn't matter. Reality doesn't play a factor. You see, law of attraction is responding to an emanation of a vibration. So your inner being has an emanation. Your inner being is emanating a vibration, and you're also emanating a vibration too in your human body. So you have these 2 points of attraction, and the way that they jive, the way that they either jive or don't connect or don't match or don't align is known to you by your emotions. So how's that? You have a guidance system. We know about our guidance system here. We know how to quantify everything. And so here you are, you have the free will. Your inner being's over here saying, hey, I'm rich, I'm everything. Your inner being is the vibrational version of all of your desires. So it's emanating that vibration. So law of attraction is listening and is responding to that vibration that your inner being is emitting, and it's emitting on your behalf. You're the one telling source what you want, and you're over here with your free will saying, I don't see it, I don't have it. And we're saying, you're emitting this vibration, and anything, it's all about your translation of vibration. So there's something that's real that really matters, because you're right. It's not that reality is an illusion. It's really that you're seeing a reality, but you're translating a reality, and based on your translation, it's like you're creating a story. You're creating a perspective that is either right or it's wrong. But we're saying if it doesn't feel good, then it's wrong. And ultimately, you're emitting this vibration. So you have this free will, and most of the times you're emanating a vibration based on what you're seeing, what you're seeing with your eyes. And so because that's realistic. That's what you've been taught to do. So you're emitting that vibration, and it equals your point of attraction. So that's what you keep getting more of. You keep getting more of the absence of dollars. You keep getting more of the absence of views, of songs in your repertoire, of anything that you've been wanting. You just keep seeing the absence of it, because you'd be a crazy person not to notice what's around you. But as a result of today's conversation, we're saying you can create a new image in your mind, though, because you're emitting vibration, and the universe doesn't know if you're emitting this vibration based on what you're seeing or based on what you're creating in your mind. And that's really interesting, because you're translating vibration all the time. What does it mean? You're so good at translating vibration. If there was something that you were officially a master of, it's translating vibration, because you're so good at it. You don't even notice that you're translating vibrations with your eyes. And so, and all this talking and all this understanding about the law of attraction, many of our friends who are deliberate creators, who want to create their reality, who really understand all this, like they understand this so well that they're just like, check, everything makes sense. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know the laws of the universe. I'm different than everyone. I know something. I'm more clear than others. In this world of confusion that could be perceived as confusion, I'm very clear about who I am, and I know the laws. And in knowing the laws, I understand that whatever I think about, I get more of. So I'm going to do something, I'm just not going to think at all. I'm going to keep all my desires away from me, because when I think about my desires, I literally like notice, and I come face to face with the fact that I don't have it right now. And that to me is the most damaging thing, because if I truly was that powerful creator, then I would have it. Then I would have, my life would be completely different. And since it's not, I just ignore it, because I can't be faced with that type of reality. And we understand that, but we're also saying like what's so interesting is that when you do create the image in your mind, and you're like, okay, why do I want this money? Why do I want this YouTube channel? Why do I want this singing career? Why do I want this acting career? Why do I want to write books? Why do I want all this stuff? And you create the image, and then you feel negative emotion. It feels like you're miscreating. It feels like, oh damn, I did something wrong. So you get off the subject. You go general. What we're saying is that in going general, the value that going general has is like it's like meditation. It's any process. You understand that your thoughts don't control you, and that you can control the momentum. You can control your thoughts. So when you go general, you slow basically going general is no one noticing through your guidance system, like, hey, energy is moving really fast in a direction that I don't like, so I'm gonna crash. My car's gonna crash. So while I can right now, let me try to slow it down. And while going general, while stepping back from the specifics, you go general and you find your alignment. Again, that's a very valuable process. But the whole thing is about going general is that you have to go back into the specifics, because it's like you're a creator, right? And it's like when you're a creator, you're like, okay, I'm gonna sit in the corner and all of reality will be given to me, and I'm just in the corner and that's it. Like I'm done creating. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm done striving. And a lot of that is right, because that idea of chilling really does come from that idea of like sitting in the corner. But it's like, would you want it's like you're eating, right? And imagine you're like, I'm a creator, so I'm gonna get someone to chew up all my food for me. So when I just eat it, I don't have, it's just so easy. Like I don't have to chew it. It's so easy because I want ease. I'm a creator. But what's interesting is that you don't say that. You'd be like, no, I want to enjoy the textures of my food. I want to enjoy the crunch, the variations of food. I want to enjoy it, and I want to enjoy food on a steady basis. I don't want to eat it all right now. We're saying it's the same with your creations. You don't want to experience everything right now. You don't want to experience it all right now because you wouldn't be able to enjoy every piece of it, every morsel of it, every flavor of it. It's like when you eat too much, it's like you're tired of food. You're like, I don't want to eat ever again. It's like that. You want to enjoy the basis, the steady basis that your food comes on. So your desires are the same way. We're trying to get you to go all in with your desires. And when we mean go all in, it's like sometimes people and our friends, you don't talk about all that you want, because when you talk about all that you want, it feels silly. It feels like it feels like, oh my god, like I don't really have it. It feels weird to talk about, like it feels weird to see myself on a, I don't want to talk about myself on the billboards. I don't want to see myself ever, because I feel like that's reaching too much. That's asking for too much. It almost feels like you're asking for something that's a little too crazy, because when you ask for something that you have no belief to support, so it feels like resistance and it hurts you, that's a belief that's worth thinking about and molding, going in general and then stepping back in, and because you're literally molding the clay of your thoughts. And that's what we're talking today about, this image, creating an image of what you want in your mind. You see, it's all about creating this image of what you want in your mind. All you have to do is talk about what you want. All you have to do is talk about, I just can't wait for money. I can't wait to pay all my bills. I can't wait to just enjoy. I can't wait to buy a new iPhone. And because in that image, you're literally enjoying the money right now. You're emanating that vibration of I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. But you're enjoying it in your mind. And so this is a piece that's really interesting. We want you to have everything you want, but we also know that you want a really fast dream, meaning you don't want to necessarily have everything, but you want to have a fast stream. You don't want, it's like the kids, like those kids have a fast stream, and that's why they run around, and that's why it seems like, why do you guys have so much energy? It's because resistance is the only thing that makes you tired. Resistance is the only thing that beats you down and makes you even need to sleep in the first place. Like kids, they don't even want to sleep. They're so alive with life because they know how to control energy. They know how to not throw resistance on their trail. They know how to keep up with their desires. And the same thing with you. You got to keep up with your desires. It's so funny because you can't step away from your desires. It's so annoying. It is annoying. It's annoying to know that you have this whole vibrational vortex for you, and it's annoying because it's calling you, and you're like, I just want to sit still. I want to be the best creator. I want ease. I don't want to do anything. But it's a path of least resistance. Remember that. So in creating this image, it's all about creating an image that you like, and that's what we mean. Where it's about going all in and talking about everything that you want. We're not talking about, oh, like, it's so nice to be famous. We're talk about the billboards of people looking at your face. Talk about, the biggest squares in the world where your face and people are stopping and taking pictures. Talk about that. Talk about the big stuff. And when we we don't mean the big stuff as in things that are hard to get. We mean the big stuff, things that really ring your bell. Don't talk about the cute little performances that you'll do, the pop-up. Talk about you standing. Here you are right now, standing, receiving your award for acting. And what's your speech? That's what we're talking about. And all that this creation is, all of this image making, this imagination, this daydream, all that it means to be in the receptive mode of this type of imagination is really enjoying the uncondition of your desire, which means you're just here to enjoy in this now moment, because that's the joy of having any desire, having anything. That's the joy of going on vacation, is that the days leading up, you're just thinking about it, you're molding the clay in your hand, you're making the list, you're like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And sometimes when you go to vacation, by the time you get there, you're so tired throughout all of it that you don't even end up doing everything on your list. But it's not about that. It's about the journey. It's about, the journey, having the journey there and enjoying the idea of it before you even got there. And there's so much to it that really is a part of the journey. And that's what we're saying, is that you can enjoy your desire right now where you are. And that's what you came here for. Because here's the thing, you came here knowing who you were. A lot of us came here knowing who we were because we encoded ourselves with that. Remember, it's like a breadcrumb, and we came into this body, and we all came into this time and space at this particular time and space in this generation, and we all came running. All of us came running, and in this running, we began to get into the vortex and get into this receiving mode. And while we were in this receiving mode, we started to receive stuff from our source. We started to receive images, and we started to enjoy the daydream. We started to literally see the unconditional parts of our desire, so that means we knew exactly what we were passionate about. We knew exactly who we were. We knew who we were. We understood exactly what we were here for. So we were always on our path. We knew the trajectory of our lives. And during the trajectory of our lives, it really was so painful to look at reality and notice that what we want wasn't there. But we're like, good. It's good for you to be tortured. It's good to have torturous contrast, because it's either you line up with the desire and you create the image of your mind and you ignore reality and you do the only thing that really does anything, which is create the image because you like it and stay there because you like it and because you care about how you feel. you're going to think about that desire and you're going to see the image in your mind. You're going to replay it over and over again because you're addicted to it, because you're obsessive, because you found the pure desire. Oh, we're going to talk about pure desire one sec. Actually, let's talk about it now. Pure desire truly is that. Pure desire is so interesting because when you're all of your desires, look at kids. Kids are like a really good example. They have pure desire off the charts. Everything that they want, they're obsessive over it. Like they will talk about that toy that they want for a week. It's because they want it because they have pure desire. But when you want something and you're like, oh, I don't want to think about this anymore, like I'm just over this, it's because you've thrown so much resistance that it's not even fun to you anymore. You're like, honestly, I don't even care about this anymore because it's not fun to me. But when you understand how to mold the clay of your thoughts, when you understand that, okay, I'm going to be the receiver of this. So now in my understanding of the molding of the clay, then I'm going to, when I feel resistance, it doesn't get emotional. It's not miscreating. It's me molding the clay. It's more feedback for me to mold the clay. So I'm going to mold the clay. I'm going to step back from the specifics. I'm going to go into find my alignment, and then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to keep doing that until the path literally is carved out. The thought pathway is literally carved out. That's crazy. Listen to that again, because that's literally what you're doing. You're carving the path of least resistance through your thoughts. And the way that you do it is through your thoughts. It's through, okay, being like, okay, I have resistance. Let me step back. And it's like trial and error, but it's not really trial and error. It's just because here's the thing, it's fun all along the way. That's what's so funny, is that this is the path that's fun all along the way, because pure desire is a crack. It feels so good. It feels like a drug. People around you will ask you, like, what have you been taking? Like, what are you up to these days? Because you seem so alive with energy. And you're like, I just stopped pushing my desires away. I gave in to that. I'm like, yes, I want to be famous. I want to be rich. I want to be the best at this and the best at that, the best at this, because it's who I am. Because it's who I am. It's a representation of my alignment with my source energy. And I'm there right now. I'm there on that plane right now. I'm there before millions, performing this song, enjoying the applause. I'm here doing this. I'm here doing that. And I'm still in my bedroom, but in my mind, it's like, who can tell the difference? Because I'm emotionally there. And we're saying once you're emotionally there, all of the whole universe conspires around it. Because here's the thing, is that the universe will believe your image. It's not like the universe doesn't want to believe the image. You don't have to pay a price, because you can't pay a big enough price for what you want. It's not that at all. It's just the universe is like, it looks at you, and whatever you're emanating, it gives to you. So when you're emanating and your signal, because here's the thing, is that a lot of times when you really want something, your signal gets very wonky fast, because you want it and then you know it's not here, and then you're like, okay, where is it? So you got this push and pull, and ultimately the balance is tipped, because your desires are really powerful. This is the thing that's really interesting, is that when your desire is that strong, it counts for so much. It does, because your desire is like, it's like a car that's going 100 miles per hour. It can shoot through anything. And that's truly what your desires are. Like, your desires are so powerful. They're like rockets are like soaring through the air that no one can even account for, because they happen in a blink of an eye. That's really kind of dramatic, but you get what we mean. Your desires mean a lot. And so when there's a little resistance, it doesn't really matter, because your desire will shoot through all of it. That's what we're saying, is that you need to create the image. You need to create the environment right now that's fertile ground for your little desire. And we're saying it's not that hard. It's really easy, because all you have to do is talk about the desire until you can see image, create the image of it in your mind. Talk about it, and when it feels good, you're there. That's why, like, when you get really good at this, and you have a really good, like a scoreboard, you're like, hey, I know that I can manifest. I manifest a lot of stuff. I've done this process a lot. It's like a formula that I know, and I've really curated and mastered. Once you're there, then you understand that once you feel good about desire, it's like as good as expecting it. So you're like, oh, I'm here, I'm done, it's coming tomorrow. But that's still more specific than you need to be, because it's introducing, because anytime you introduce the outcome, the object, then you're not really enjoying the process of just being there, being in your bedroom, being in your red bedroom, and just thinking about your desire and just going there in your mind, because that's what it's all about. It's really about because it's like, you're here trying to get all your manifestations, but we're trying to get you to realize that you're always going to be this. You're always going to have, and so like when you get weary because of the path, it's because you keep throwing resistance. It's because you're not catching up with your desires. You've been wanting money for 10 years. You've been wanting money for all this time, but you don't really line up with it in the way that, because it's like because your thought is where you last left it. So it's just lazy. It's a limp. You just leave it where it is, and you don't really do anything, because you're a creator. And the thing is, your inner being knows that your inner being is not here. You know what's so interesting is that it's not source is not more powerful than you. Source is not even more powerful than you, so much that you're catching up to source, and that you're trying to be like source, and that you're lucky to even have source talk through you and channel source, and you're praying for source, and that you're pleading with source. It's not like that at all. Source is catching up to you. It's opposite. Source is catching up to you because you're the pioneer. So source is running behind you, being like, hey, did you, and right now in this moment, in this now moment, and it's following you, it's following your lead, and it's like, yo, did you hear that? Did you write that down? This person wants an amendment for this, and that, and this, and that. It knows who you are, knows what you want, knows how to get you all the way over there, and is giving you that. It's giving you that feedback right now, and that instructions right now. And so when we talk about creating this image, and creating this image not for the sake of getting over there, because when you're smart, you get like, I could get there. I could get there. All I have to do is keep my momentum up. And we're like, that's not a bad approach, but there's more resistance, because then you start taking score, you introduce your odds, what is starts coming into the party, and she's like, yo, like, you haven't had it in 10 days, like, is your process really working? Things you can't get it wrong, because whatever you do that makes you feel good, you're on your path to everything that you want. And when we talk about this guidance system, it all just checks out, because when you're creating this image and it feels good, you're alive. It's like your house and all your lights have been turned on. You're alive. That's the zest that you've been looking for, is your desires. Desires are like they're like food. They're like fuel that keeps you going, because you want, and you're never gonna run out of desires. Don't ever be like, have that shorter mindset of being like, what if I did have, this is my list of things I've been wanting for my whole life, and what if I get them and I'm just like, what do I do next? And we're like, don't worry, you have all eternity. You have a vortex that's full, and there's many lifetimes that it will take for you to have everything, which is a good thing. And so when your desire is that strong, it just, your guidance system got you. That's what we're saying. Like, when you're creating this image, just keep creating the image and keep enjoying the image, because what you want is not here. And we think that's the most honest thing that even we could agree with. We're like, it doesn't matter, because you can get to where you want, and it's not about timing. It's not about timing. It's only about vibrational alignment. And when you're in vibrational alignment, instead of with the image in your mind rather than the reality that you're looking at, the what is that you're looking at, which often does not contain what you want. When the image is more important than in your mind than the reality, because you love it, then it has to manifest. And you know that because when you're enjoying the image, when you're seeing yourself on the plane, and you're enjoying the colors and the smells of this new country and the vibe and the air, and you're noticing what type of clothes you're wearing sandals or wearing shoes, and you truly create the image, and you create your ideal body, looking around, getting your bag, the most expensive bag, and you're going to a bougie hotel and you're just excited. And when that place is where you keep going to because you're obsessive with it, because you found that place of pure desire, so you just want to keep going there over and over again, then you got it, because your guidance system is telling you you're on the right path. Because if you look at reality too soon, prematurely, then you're gonna be like, hey, you're gonna come to the conclusion that what you want isn't coming, what you want isn't hearing it, and you get disappointed. But we're like, the thing is, that's what's slowing you down, is that you keep getting disappointed with reality, and then you go back into the direction. But we're like, keep going in the direction that feels good, keep going with the image that feels so good, because it feels good. We're saying when something feels good, it's worth repeating, it's worth writing down, it's worth going to over and over again, because it's your source. You see, your source is all over you, your source is with you. And when you're washing your dishes, when you're in the replenishment mode, when you're in that state where you're just listening to music and you're driving, and you just feel like openness in your mind, and you feel like you lose the boundary of time and space, and you're just there in that moment, what are you one with? You're one with your source. Your source is knocking on the door and is waiting for you to answer. And we're saying, answer. Go in and dive in and enjoy your life experience. Have the best life experience ever. We want you to say, you know what? I love this life experience. There's so much I've been wanting, and I'm screwing up big time. I have so much resistance, and I don't even know how I'm gonna get all of it, but like, I'm gonna figure it out, because that's the fun of life, is wanting things. And that's why a lot of us are born in contrast. Poverty, this, that, because we wanted the true contrast. We wanted the true lesson and the true fun of wanting something beyond what we could see, so that we could truly become the creator and maintain the creatorness that we are, because it feels good to be a creator. And it's not about the object that we're creating, it's about being the creator. It's about creating the creator that we are right now. And well, that's literally about creating the image. Create the image in your mind, friends. Think about how good it feels to want money and to have the money. Like, daydream. Create the image in your mind of you being so rich that you're just walking in your mansion, and everything is just space. There's luxury, there's abundance of everything, abundance of clothes, abundance of space, abundance of pots and pans. And every time you come in, you just remind you just remember abundance. Like, that's how you have to talk, because it's either you're talking like that, or you're noticing that's not here yet. We're saying that's a perfect spot to end this on. Is that you're either imagining how you want it to be, or you're noticing how it is. And there's how it's playing out in your experience will tell you which side of the stick you're on. And we're telling you, you could be on the other side of the stick. You don't need to be scared of resistance. Negative emotion is truly your best friend. It truly is your best friend. Keep blowing that clay and keep being a creator. Have that zest for life. The zest for life is your desire. Keep up with